For 7 books, we watched Draco Malfoy as the spoiled, sneering antagonist, the shadow to Harry Potter's light. But what if we were looking at the wrong conflict? What if Draco Malfoy is the single most tragic and innocent victim of the entire Harry Potter series? He was born with immense privilege, the Malfoy name, the gold, the power. Yet his life was not a gift. It was a psychological prison. His biggest enemy wasn't Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, or even the Golden Trio. His true antagonist was his father, Lucius Malfoy, and the ideology he was born into. We are going to dive deep into the Malfoy Manor, analyze the pressure, the fear, and the ultimate desperate choice Draco had to make to save his own soul.
The Golden Cage, the grooming. Draco Malfoy wasn't taught hate, he was groomed for it. From the moment he could understand the word muggle, his entire identity was built on the rotten foundation of pureblood superiority. The Malfoy doctrine, enforced by Lucius with a cold, emotional cruelty, taught him that his worth was entirely dependent on 2 things: blood purity and power. This wasn't a choice for Draco, it was an inherited disease. Every word he spoke, every sneer he perfected, every decision he made was a desperate attempt to gain approval from his intimidating, emotionally absent father. His childhood wasn't spent making friends, it was spent memorizing the sacred names, perfecting the look of contempt for the lesser students, and understanding that failure was not an option. If he failed to uphold the Malfoy pride, he risked not only public humiliation, but his father's emotional withdrawal, a fear far worse than any detention. This constant pressure explains his behavior perfectly. His attempt to befriend Harry Potter in the first year wasn't a genuine offer of friendship, it was a strategic attempt to gain access to the ultimate status symbol of the wizarding world. When Harry refused, Draco didn't just feel rejected, his entire identity structure was shattered. He immediately doubled down on the only role he had left: the bully, the heir, the entitled pureblood. It was his first psychological defense mechanism. The failure to be a Slytherin. The true tragedy of Draco is that, at his core, he was a massive failure at being the Slytherin his father wanted him to be. Slytherin House values ambition and cunning, but when Draco was finally given the chance to exercise real power in the Half-Blood Prince, he didn't rise, he crumbled. The mission to kill Dumbledore was the turning point that exposed the boy hiding beneath the inherited robes. Voldemort's task was a double bind, a psychological trap designed to destroy the Malfoy family, not reward them. If Draco succeeded, he would become a broken, traumatized murderer. If he failed, Voldemort would kill his entire family. It was a death sentence for his soul, given as a cruel, public punishment for Lucius Malfoy's failure at the Ministry. Draco's descent in that book is heartbreaking. He loses weight, he becomes erratic, he tries to fix the vanishing cabinet, but he never truly prepares to commit murder. On the Astronomy Tower, when Dumbledore is disarmed, Draco is given the wand, the clear path to power, and he cannot do it. He hesitates, his wand shaking. That moment, that paralysis, proved he was not a killer. He was a scared, coerced teenager. That refusal, that failure to be the cold-blooded Slytherin his father demanded, was his first real act of moral freedom. The hostage of Malfoy Manor. The psychological torment didn't stop at Hogwarts. It intensified in Malfoy Manor. When Voldemort takes over the wizarding world, Malfoy Manor becomes his headquarters. Draco wasn't an honored Death Eater. He was a hostage in his own home. He, his mother, Narcissa, and his father, Lucius, all lived in constant, paralyzing fear of the mad dictator sitting at their dining table. Draco witnessed the darkest horrors up close: the torture of prisoners, the casual brutality of Bellatrix Lestrange, and the utter debasement of his father, Lucius, whose wand was stripped away. This environment broke him. The pure-blood paradise he was promised had become a literal house of horrors, a direct consequence of his father's fanatical loyalty to Voldemort. The most crucial moment of his arc happens here, when Harry, Ron, and Hermione are brought to the manor. Bellatrix demands Draco identify Harry. Draco hesitates, saying, "Maybe. It might be." Why didn't he identify Harry? It wasn't because he was suddenly Harry's friend. It was a desperate, primal act of survival and humanity. Identifying Harry would bring the conflict to its violent conclusion right there, increasing the danger to his mother and father. By delaying and showing ambiguity, he was buying time, protecting his family, and, in that small moment, rejecting the mission of the Death Eaters. He was choosing his family's survival over Voldemort's victory.
The parallel to Harry Potter, the lost boy. The tragic irony is that Draco Malfoy is the mirror of Harry Potter. Both were powerful boys forced into roles they didn't choose, defined by circumstances outside their control. Harry was forced to fight the Dark Lord because of a prophecy. Draco was forced to serve the Dark Lord because of an inheritance. Harry was trapped with the Dursleys, who denied him love and his magical identity. Draco was trapped with the Malfoys, who smothered him with a toxic ideology and denied him his humanity. Harry found surrogate father figures in Dumbledore, Sirius, and Lupin. Draco only ever had Lucius, who taught him that love was conditional on power and loyalty to the cause. He was denied the emotional tools to be anything other than a bully. His lack of unconditional love is the biggest tragedy of his character. He was a product of his environment, and his environment was poisoned.
The father's legacy, closing the loop. Draco's cruelest punishment was not the danger of Azkaban, nor the fear of Voldemort. It was the ultimate realization that the ideology he was taught, the pride he inherited, was ultimately worthless. The Malfoys were reduced to cowering shadows in their own home. During the Battle of Hogwarts, they are huddled together, terrified, no longer caring about who wins or loses, only about survival. Lucius is desperately searching for his wand, not to fight for the cause, but to protect his family, a desperate, late-stage act of paternal loyalty. That final sight, his broken family stripped of their power and wealth, choosing survival and each other over the failed doctrine, forced Draco to make his final, definitive choice. He walked away from the battle, effectively choosing humanity and self-preservation over Lucius's pride and the pure-blood mission. Draco Malfoy's arc is a powerful cautionary tale about inherited hate. He was a boy given the illusion of choice, only to realize his true freedom lay in rejecting his father's legacy and embracing the terrifying vulnerability of being just a man.
Draco Malfoy's journey is a testament to the fact that evil is often inherited, not chosen. He was a boy fighting not against Harry Potter, but against the weight of his own name. He was a victim of a system that offered him the world, but took his soul in return. Was Draco truly innocent? Did his fear excuse his cruelty? Let me know your most controversial opinion in the comments below.